Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back here today with another challenge video. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, so let's get on with the crafts. Let's go. Here we go with DIY number 1. All right, for this first DIY, we're going to get some more of these little wood tags. Now you want to paint the side that already has paint on it if it's painted, because it'll take less of your chalk paint. I'm going to paint some Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint on these. I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on, let it dry, and then I'm going to take a piece of tissue paper and I'm going to iron it on just like I did here, and then I will clean up the edges, and you can either sand that off or you can burn it like I'm doing right here. And then I got out my little rub-on transfers and I'm going to apply them, and I'm going to add some embellishments, and we will see these at final reveal. Now if you want to see this video with more details on how I did this, there's other videos that I've done these in. We're making a lot of them for our booth because they do sell. Alright, this is the What Would You Make challenge video, and this month's guest host is 6 Kids and a Glue Gun. It's hosted every month by OK at Home DIY and Connie's Wood Shop and DIYs. There's also a playlist in the description box below, along with these ladies' links to their channels. Go check them out because they're doing some awesome crafts and you don't want to miss them. So let's get back to the video. Alright, here we go with DIY number 2. Now this next one's pretty quick and simple too. I got this chicken from the thrift store. I painted it with some Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint on both sides and let it dry. Then I'm going to trim this contact paper back, and that contact paper I think is one that came from Temu. And you don't have to trim this up really good because I do go back and sand it with a fingernail file or a finger sander. And I ended up using a fingernail file so I could get into the areas really good because it had some fine areas, and it does work fine for this. You just need to make sure that if you've got a big area that you cut it back so that it creases around there. And it does sand really well with this contact paper because it is pretty thin. Then the next thing I did is I took one of my rubber on transfers, put it on there. Then I put some of this lace along the bottom of it. And we will see the rest of this at the final reveal. Here we go with DIY number 3. Right, for this next one, I found this little house at the thrift store. And it was several of them, and it is a solid block of wood little house. And I painted it with Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint. And then the next thing that I'm doing is I took out my stencil here, and I got out my lightweight spackling, and I am going to make a raised stencil piece, and I'm going to use that little spread knife, whatever you call it. Anyway, my lightweight spackling looks rough. It does, but it still worked okay, so I kept using it, and it is just getting a little dry. I guess I need to get out a new pack of it. But anyway, I'm going to spread it over the stencil, and then when I get everything like I want, I'm going to pick up all the extra stuff off of there, and I am going to put it back in my cup. That's probably why it looks like it does. Because I keep putting the extra back in there because I don't want to waste anything. And then I'm going to pick it up and look at that. Ta-da! And I'm going to do on the sides of the house, I'm going to put some of this brick pattern on there. I'm not going to make you watch that because you just saw how to do it. Back when the Dollar Tree sold these little planks for $6, that's when I got these. And they didn't sell them for $6. What am I talking about? They sell them 6 to a pack, and they're $1 a piece back when I bought these. So what I did is I cut it straight in half because I wanted my roof to be a little bit wider and not just be flat on there. Like, you know, the roof line is doesn't come out over the edge of the house like I want it to. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So I let my house sit to the side while that lightweight spackling's drying, and I got me out some of these paint sticks that have the sponges on the end of them. I save the sticks when I throw away the sponges, and I'm going to cut this off to be the same width as my roof. Now I'm doing 2 of them. I'm going to do one out of a larger dowel rod, or you can use a dowel rod in place of it, but I use that stick. Now I'm going to use this thicken something quick and thick by Type Bond. I saw one of the other crafters using it, and I thought I'd give it a try. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this lid opens up right now. And so I'm like, nope, that ain't gonna work. Nope, that ain't gonna work. This thing ain't got a hole in it yet. I gotta make a hole. So I'm gonna get my miter shears out, and I'm gonna make me a hole. Oh, didn't get it deep enough. Gotta do it again. And finally get it to where I can get the glue out of the bottle. Now this glue is really thick. Now I'm going to go along the roof edge right there because I want to add this dowel rod on there because I want to make the pitch of my roof a little higher. Now if you didn't want to make the pitch of your roof higher, then you can take and just put those 2 little boards on there and make them be like you want them to. So this quick and thick is supposed to dry pretty fast, but yeah, about that, it didn't. So anyway, I'm going to go in here, and this is how I'm going to put my roof together. And then, so I've got to let this piece dry. So once I get that piece on there and it's dry, then I'm going to take some more of that quick and thick because my roof line didn't meet up all the way. And I'm going to just lay this dowel rod right on top of it. And even if it had met up, I probably would have left a little gap and put that in there just like that. And don't be impatient like me. You know, I think I ought to change the name of my channel to The Impatient Crafter. What do y'all think? Anyway, let me get this glued on here. Yeah, see, I didn't wait long enough on that other piece either. See my mistakes? Learn from me. Don't be impatient. Yeah, you see me adding hot glue here? I got tired of waiting. Yeah, I think I ought to change the name of my channel to That Impatient Crafter. Okay, so after I get those like I want them, then I take a paint stick and I cut it in half and I make those little pieces because there's going to be a gap in there from your roof line where you raised your roof if you do that. Now you don't have to raise your roof, and you don't have to put these extra pieces of wood on there, and you could go straight to this part that I'm doing now. What I am actually doing that you can't see until now is I am taking my little molds and I am filling them up with hot glue. Now this is one of my favorite ways to use my molds because I can pop these out pretty quick, and for That Impatient Crafter it works really well. Yes, it does. Although you do have to wait for that hot glue to dry for a second or two, but if you sit it in front of the fan, it goes pretty fast. And while I'm waiting for that first set to dry, I'm going to do one of these longer pieces for my roof, and I'm just going to go in all these little spaces and fill this one up and let it dry too. And then I've glued on my little paint sticks at this point, and I made a little flower for the end of this, and I took those 2 short ones and 2 little flowers, actually 3 flowers, and I'm going to glue all of this in place. Now I am not going to use hot glue like you saw me get ready to do. I'm going to use the quick and thick because I don't want the hot glue to melt my molds that I just made. You can put it on there if you're using a low temp one, but you know me, I want to be fast. And I'm impatient. So I use hot glue, really hot glue. Yes, real hot glue. And anyway, so I'm going to use some more of this quick and thick and glue these on here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that long piece that I made and I'm going to put one here and one at the bottom edge of the roof, and I'll do the same for the other side, and I'll put them on the same way I did those first ones. All right, once I get all of them on there, then I'm going to come back with my Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, and I'm going to use my little chippy brush because it gets into the cracks and crevices really good. And I am going to paint everything with the Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, even my design that I have put on with the lightweight spackling, because it's dry now. Now, if it's not dry, don't do that because you'll brush it away. You will. Ask me how I know, because I'm that impatient crafter. All right, now we've got everything put on there, and it is completely dry because I let it sit overnight. Now I'm going to take some black wax, and I am going to go over everything because I want this to stand out. Now, before I put that black wax on, I did go over it with a clear wax so that I could wipe back what black wax I didn't want on there. So that's a real important step. Put clear wax down first, then you put your black wax on. That way you can wipe back what you don't want. And I'm just going to make sure that all of these pieces are highlighted, and then we will see the rest of this project at the final reveal. Now, at this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches. We appreciate everything you do for this channel. All the liking, the sharing, and the big thumbs up, and having conversations with us through the comments. We really enjoy all of that, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We wouldn't be a channel if it wasn't for y'all watching. And so we just want to give you a big thanks. Here we go with the final reveal and all the embellishments. All right, here's all our little projects already finished, our little tags that we made, and our little chicken. It almost blends in with my background there. And here is that gorgeous little house. It kind of looks like a birdhouse to me. And I had one of these sell in the booth, so I made another one to put in there. It's a little bit different than the one I put in there before. It's a little bit smaller, but I think these are absolutely gorgeous. All right, I want to share some things. I wanted to share a few more pictures of Cades Cove and our trip up there. That is actually one of the churches and a bear that we saw when we were there in Cades Cove. And here is the beautiful ride as we're going through Cades Cove. I love looking at the trees and all the different colors. Isn't it beautiful? Now, while we were there, we saw about 10 bear, and this is over the hood of my car. There's the mama bear, and there is a sighting of people riding a wagon through Cades Cove and some turkeys. All these animals run wild, and there's an animal running wild there. He's taking a picture of this deer right here, and here is a better picture of it right there. Now, I have decided I'm going to turn this into the Crafty Art Shack, and these are just some of the sites that you'll see sitting around Tennessee as you're going over to the cove to see all of those beautiful animals and these tractors and stuff like that. I had to take pictures of them. Now, this is our little woodchuck friend that lived next door in the cabin next door to us, and I'll show you a picture. Him and his little wifey sitting right there under the house. Now, let me tell you what's going on with the Chic Shack. Now, while I was in Tennessee, Beth and her daughter were busy dreaming they were there. No, not really. They were busy painting and doing a fabulous job on flipping some stuff. Now, these two blue chairs that you see here, we picked up at the thrift store. Now, the seats, I took and redid the seats and printed on the seats, and Beth and her daughter painted these chairs and got them ready for the booth. And I think these are going to make absolutely gorgeous chairs for somebody's house. Now, here is another flip that we did. We took this lamp that you see the arrow at pointing to, and we took and redid that lamp. I say we redid it. I meant I redid this one. And some of our efforts are joint and some of them are ones that we do ourselves. But I made that out of 3 different lamps that I found in the community thrift store. If you don't remember what that was, go back to the beginning of the video. All right, if you'd like to know what is going on with our channel, always go over to our community tab on our channel, and you'll see what we're doing and what's going on, and find out what's going on for that week. And if we have a cancellation for some reason or something's going on special, we'll let you know.
Awesome. So you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and give us that big thumbs up because it really helps our channel out. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye.